Hi folks, Mez here. Thank you for tuning in for another video on Plan C, Journey of a Cancer Patient. Today's video, I want to talk about a PICC line. I've recently had a PICC line put in, and I just wanted to dedicate a video about what it is, what it was like, etc. So with that being said, what is it? PICC is an acronym, PICC. It stands for Peripherally Inserted Central Catheter. Long scientific name, but essentially what that is that is a tube that goes from my arm, inserted in my arm, and through a blood vessel in my right arm, and a tube that goes into my heart. Well, not into my heart, but in and around the heart area of my chest. And the reason as to why it's needed is the fact that when I went and began my first cycle of chemotherapy, I was given a cannula, or attempted to give a cannula, which is basically what the drip feeds into. However, for that to be put in, they have to find a strong enough or a big enough vein for a needle to go in, for the tube to go in, and for the chemotherapy drugs to be administered. This eventually happened, but what happened is it took about 6 attempts to find a decent vein, and it was quite painful being jabbed by a needle 6 times just to try and find a vein good enough to accept these. We don't want to go through that every chemotherapy cycle. So what the doctors and the team at my clinic have decided is that it's better for me to have a permanent tube fitted within me that also sticks outside of my arm. And when it comes to administrating my chemotherapy drugs, there's no more needles involved, there's no more jabbing involved. What they do is they take this tube, they connect it to a machine, and the chemotherapy drugs are administered that way. It saves a lot of process, it saves a lot of heartache, it's administered quicker, and therefore it was deemed for me and my scenario that was the best thing to do. So now we know what it is and what it's for. It begs the question, what does it look like? Now, I'm going to show you here. If people are a little squeamish, please feel free to look away. I'm not going to go through all of the gore and cuts. I'll spare you some of the details, but what I'm about to just show you now is my PICC line. And I'll stop it around about there. There you have it. There is the tube. I don't know how well you can see that. There is a tube. It's a loose tube. And this tube here, this connector here is where the plug, essentially it is a plug that goes into the tubes that I will administer my chemotherapy. And that goes into my arm, into my body, through my body, through my arm. And that's the tube that will administer the chemotherapy here. And there you have it. That is my PICC line, and that will permanently stay with me now. It's not something that they remove. That's going to be there. They do flush this tube every week just to make sure that it's clean and sterile, ready for when the chemotherapy goes through. But there you have it. That's my PICC line. That's what it is, and I'm learning to live with it. Manage my life around it. And I said, it's a permanent feature for me now, or at least permanent until I'm done with my chemotherapy, and it's deemed no longer needed. In that case, I'll just take it out. Does it hurt? No. In fact, I don't actually feel it. The procedure was relatively quick. It was done in Oxford for me, but it can be done elsewhere, wherever a specialist is available to carry out this procedure. And the doctor, he had done many procedures like this before. He'd inserted it a lot before. they do it in conjunction with an X-ray, so they can make sure that they thread the tube into the right vein, and then that tube is going into the kind of heart and the chest area, so they can see if there's any kind of complications or problems. And the whole procedure lasted, I'd say, roughly around about 10 minutes, 15 max. In which case, a local anesthetic is applied, so you're kind of numb to any of the work that they're doing, and after that you don't feel it at all. You obviously feel the tube that's outside there, but other than that, you don't feel it at all. What will happen is that when you do have this procedure, if you do have this procedure, the hospital staff, they may give you this kind of expandable kind of material to put over the PICC sleeve, just in case it snags on in any kind of clothes or things like that. One piece of advice that I will say is replace this as soon as you can. This is a compression material, and what does happen when you do wear that compression material is the PICC line has various elements of plastic in it. As you can see here, there's a plastic element there, as well as there. When that compression material is pressed against your skin, after a period of time, it will graze that skin, it will abrase that skin, and it will start to feel uncomfortable. The compression material is only there to kind of secure it until you get home, and you find alternative ways to cover this. And the way that I've done that is to use something called a PICC sleeve. Now, this is a elasticated kind of polyester material, or it can be viscose as well, and it just covers the PICC line. So when you do kind of put any kind of clothes over it, it's not snagging or anything like that. It's very soft. It's stretchy. Comes in a range of sizes. If you're interested in where I got this from, I'll try and put the details in the comment section or description below. And it just helps protect and keep things nice and neat. So I can put a jumper over this, and I know that it's not going to interfere with the PICC line. It's not going to get contaminated. It keeps it safe, and I can wear pretty much what I want. It keeps it protected. It doesn't get hot or anything like that. So that keeps me nice and safe in terms of the PICC line. One thing it does do, or one thing that I should mention about a PICC line, is you can't get it wet. Now, you're probably thinking, if you can't get it wet, then how are you showering? How are you bathing? Well, that is something that there are solutions for. And when I was researching this, one of the solutions that I came across was to have a cover over the PICC sleeve that has a waterproof kind of sealer around it. I'm not exactly what you call it, but I have it here. Limbo is the name of the company that provides this. And the best way I can describe this is it's like an inflatable armband that's been deflated. Your arm goes through one of these holes here, comes out the other end, but the seal that it creates around your arm is watertight, or pretty much as watertight as you can have it. So that kind of fits over my arm. There we go. You kind of get the message, and you can shower normally, as normal as can be, wearing something like this. And that's what you got to do. You got to protect. You got to make sure that none of the water kind of gets in. It doesn't seep in. The seals are good, and it's just one way of making sure that your daily routine is not as disrupted as it needs to be. Once you've showered, you take it off. You dry your arm with a towel, and it's absolutely fine. It dries quick. The material is strong, and again, I'll put the details of that down below in the comments or the description section. Just anybody wants to kind of look into that, they can. Let me think. What else? What else regarding this? my chemotherapy session, my next cycle starts on Thursday now. So I'm a little apprehensive about the chemotherapy and being administered this way. Again, it's something new. It's something that I haven't had to deal with. So there's slight apprehension there, but I'm kind of glad in the fact that I don't have to be jabbed with a needle again. Not that I'm worried about injections or anything like that, but you know, when you are being stabbed by a needle and it fails like 2 or 3 times, and you kind of think, okay, I'll get on with it, kind of thing. Hopefully, the next one is going to be all right. And when that fails, there's a bit of disappointment. The PICC line eliminates that. Now, you don't have to have a PICC line. There are other solutions there. There's also something called a chemotherapy port. This wasn't an option for me. It might be an option for other people out there. But what that is that that's another line that goes in through to your kind of heart area. Some people have the port, which is what I can describe as a small disc that sits underneath your skin, and it is what it says. It's a port that links to the tube that goes into your heart. When the chemotherapy is needed, they place a needle through your skin to get to that port. They apply the drip that goes in. That wasn't offered to me. They think in my scenario, the PICC line was the best scenario, and I don't really kind of question these things. I just take the advice from the medical experts. So we'll see how it goes. And I've just got to live with it. I'm just going to find a way. Sometimes it's, first time the first day I had it in, I felt like my arm was stiff. I couldn't bend it. I kind of assumed that there would be a needle there. There's no needles in there. It's just the tube. So I've got full mobility of my arm. It's just moving on psychologically over that. But that's absolutely fine. It doesn't kind of cause me any kind of discomfort or anything like that. And life goes on. I've now got this for at least minimum 6 months. Let's see how it goes. And that's it. That's it for the PICC line. Let's see how the chemotherapy is administered on Thursday via the port. I'll report back. There you have it. One other thing to mention is, so you may notice that in this video, I am wearing a cap where I haven't worn it in the other videos. That's because my hair loss journey has started. And that is going to be the basis of my next video. So please make sure that you tune in for that. If you watched all of the videos, thank you so much. Thank you for the support, your comments, the messages I received keep me going, they keep me happy, they keep me positive. So thank you very much about that. Please tune in to my next video to learn about my hair loss journey. And even though I was very much prepared for it, it was still a big experience, which I'll go into. So please tune in for that. That should be coming up soon. But thank you very much for listening to me waffling on about this journey. Have a great day. Bye-bye.